Good afternoon to all. Christ says, I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Ultimately, the greatest lesson that COVID 19 can teach humanity is that we are all in this FDP together. Today, we have gathered the fifth day, the last day of this session. Technology now allows people to connect anytime, anywhere, anyone in the world from almost any device. This is dramatically changing the way people work, facilitating collaboration with colleagues who are dispersed across time, zones, countries, and continents. When sound can change a moment, when idea can change a world, when step can start a journey, but a prayer can change even the impossible. So let us start our program with prayer song. The soul should always stand ajar, ready to welcome the ecstatic experience. I call Dr. Livina E. Pereira, head of the Department of English, to give her warm welcome address.
Good afternoon to one and all. A boy and welcome to all from Idhaya College for Women, Kumbakonam. We are sitting under the shade today because somebody planted a tree a long time ago. That is the role of a teacher too. We are planting for the future generation. A teacher always stays young, keeps on learning always, whether 40 or 80. That's what we have been doing all these 4 days. And it is an optimistic approach in a pessimistic situation. We are thankful to you all eminent scholars for being patient with us and traveling along with us all these days. Today we are on the last day of the faculty development program on techniques in enhancing teaching and learning skills, organized by the Internal Quality Assessment Cell of Idhaya College for Women, Kumbakonam. All credit goes to our principal, Reverend Sister Dr. Eugene Amala, for motivating and guiding us to organize this mind-blowing FDP, which really taught us all techniques to enhance our teaching and learning skills. A hearty welcome to you, sister. A winning welcome to our secretary, Reverend Mother Claudine Orokia Mary, administrator, Reverend Sister Anthony Amal, and our vice principal, Reverend Sister Dr. Vimali Mary. I also extend a warm welcome to the IQAC coordinator, Dr. C. Pramila Rossi. Next, let me introduce the guest of honor today, Dr. C. Balakrishnan. He is a man of reserved knowledge and profound thinking. He has 15 years of teaching experience as assistant professor of computer science. He has been doing his service to the students at present at Alagappa University, Karagiri. He has published many number of articles and papers in national and international journals. He has authored 5 books and has been editor for 2 books. A cordial welcome to you, sir. And we are honored by your presence today. And we are eager to listen to your presentation on the topic blended learning, pedagogy for future. Yes, today's topic is very interesting, blended learning, pedagogy for future, which emphasizes that the classrooms for the future generation should be modified, should be transformed, developing new fields of knowledge and transdisciplinary fields of learning. Once again, I welcome one and all the participants and viewers to sharpen your ears and be attentive to our eminent speaker, Dr. C. Balakrishnan, which may help us transform our teaching skills for the future generation. Stay safe, stay connected. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, you can use chat box to your queries and questions. At last, the end of the session, chairperson will answer for your questions. The gentleman is one who. Now I invite our chairperson, Dr. C. Balakrishnan sir, to present on blended learning pedagogy for future. Sir, shall you take up your part?
Thank you.
Is it audible,
Thank you.
sir?
Yes, madam. Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
we are.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are.
Thank you. And good afternoon, one and all present here. I take this opportunity to thank Idhaya College for Women Kumbakonam, the authorities, Reverend Sisters and Mothers, and the IQAC team of the college for having taken this initiative to arrange a 5 days FTP on enhancing the teaching learning skills. So nowadays it is a kind of we are living in a kind of crisis. We can say it's a kind of worldwide crisis. So it is very apt to use this pandemic lockdown situation to revamp our techniques and skills so that we can full-fledged render our services to the student community. So it is a kind of pleasure to share my views with you. So without making that much of time, I think I can share, start to work. Okay. I think am I audible and as well as you can see my presentation. I hope so. Is it
Ye-
correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible as well as our display is also visible, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, sir.
And again, a very good afternoon, one and all. I am C. Balakrishnan, working as assistant professor of Alagappa Institute of Skill Development, Alagappa University. So, and today we are going to discuss a very important and very interesting topic called blended learning. As far as my view is concerned, it is going to be the future pedagogy, and we have to adopt to this kind of matter. So that's why I have taken this topic. And before starting this one, it is my disclaimer.
Yes, sir.
I'm not an external person. I'm just one among you. I'm also a colleague to you. And here I am not going to lecture anything. Rather, I am going to discuss something common problems as well as common solutions to solve this problem. Okay, so the 1 hour or more from here, I'm not going to lecture anything because you know very well than me about how to manage the students and teaching skills. So with this, I can with this disclaimer, I think I can move. And the pedagogy has been evolved from time to time. I can say that pedagogy means formal pedagogy means we have, I think we have started the Gurukula system, and later on we move on to the colonial impact. We move on to some kind of conventional classroom system. blackboards, and students are sitting in a row with bench or without bench, and teachers are have chalk and talk. Through that only they are communicating with their students, and developments of ICT tools. The ICT tools like projectors and a small computer can be placed, have been placed in classroom structure to give some kind of pictorial representation or demonstration. And later on, we move on to the kind of each and every student having some kind of system in front of them, and overhead projector, LCD projector or something else to demo on that. This can be considered as a kind of hands-on training. So we evolved from Gurukula system to hands-on training with ICT tools. So later on, this can be considered as the traditional classroom training has been converted as e-learning, and later on it is converted as mobile learning. Nowadays, the mobile learning is very much boomed, nothing like that. So this is time to time. And at this moment, we have to think about the difficult aspects of teaching today. So it is very important thing, because unless otherwise we understand the root cause of our problem, we are unable to find the solution. Our ultimate goal as our FDP title is enhancing the teaching and learning skills. Teaching is a kind of a two-way communication, as you know very well. So our ultimate goal is to get learning outcomes from the students. Means they have to be either professional or an entrepreneur. So somewhere or some other, they have to be employed. This is our ultimate goal, and their wisdom should be enhanced out of our syllabus, out of our pedagogical practices. So our aim is to improve the students in all aspects of their growth, mental and
Hello, sir.
other things.
Hello, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes, no.
Sir, your voice is breaking in the middle. It's echoing.
Oh, um, okay. Is it now audible?
It's clear.
Okay, thank you. And this is the case. So I take this survey from Emerging EdTech, and they raised some kind of survey, and out of that survey, they felt that they provided some queries inspiring students to become self-directed. And most of the things are this is the combined one. They, that is either agree or not agree. This combined one we can take. And improving learning outcomes is a very important factor of teaching, and differentiating and personalizing the teaching. So this is again very important aspect as teachers are expressed, and getting students to do their work outside the classroom. So this is again a very important task in front of us, because managing the students from 10 to 5 a very big issue, and even though there are some issues, we can manage. But after the class hours, how the students can be engaged in the with respect to their personal growth and professional expertise. This is again a very important thing, and finding the time to keep up with the administrative tasks, because as teachers we are not going to stick only with classroom teaching and other things. We have to do other administrative work for the growth of our institution. So we have to spend time, and keeping students are engaged. It's again a very important thing. So unless otherwise they are engaged and their interests are created, we cannot get our ultimate goal of getting outcomes, learning outcomes. and we have to limit the distractions in the classroom. It's again a very important, very Herculean task today. And understanding the changing technology, we cannot say I have to stick to my black and chalk and talk method. I need not to move to some other new development. We cannot say because it is a need of our. So we have to adopt and understand the changing technology. So this is the kind of situation of today's concern. And with that, another important thing is whether our problems of students are now the students are kind of incurious in the sense to how kind of cope up with our goings. So they are not interested and incurious kind of state. And another thing is the students mostly are uncontrolled. I'm not finding fault with students. It is not my aim. I have to find out or I have to tell the real situations of today's classroom environment. And they are very much uncontrolled in the case somewhere. And mostly, this is the typical classroom situation of all of us. They are bored and they are not interested. And whatever we say, they would be say like, why should man? I have to learn. If you take the computer science subject, means if you teach any kind of algorithm or conventional concept, then they would say, sir, where I am going to apply this thing? Because in the industry, they are using some recent languages, recent developments. And why should I waste this time to learn the basics and fundamentals? And they should not know. In other case, we have to tell them the basement is a very important thing to build any kind of house or any kind of knowledge structure. So we have to concentrate on this very important aspect. That is, the students are most of the students are bored. If you take 50 students in a class, means we can say only a handful of students are interested. The others are not at all interested. I think you can uh, and more, and this is another issue of current students. They are unlistened. A common phrase, no, the physically present and mentally absent. So this is a kind of another issue what we are facing in our classroom situation. Whatever we say, they used to, they may, their posters and gestures are telling they are listening, but our matters will not be into that particular student community. So this is another issue of recent times. And what is the remedy? And somebody would say that digital replacement of conventional pedagogy will solve all of the above problems. Will it be? So digital replacement, you just underline the word digital replacement. Digital replacement means just change the entire pedagogical practices into the internet based or e-learning based or mobile based. So this is what we call it as digital replacement of conventional pedagogy. So will it be correct one? And with respect to our infrastructure, digital infrastructure of India, Indian vibrant economy with more than 200 million internet users have made the country the third largest online market after China and the USA. With this kind of far-reaching impact, there is a hope for an increase in the use of digital technologies in the education field. So, as you accept, uh, whatever we are having, whatever we had 5 years back, the internet penetration and the number of computers, the amount of digital devices what we are having today is not at all available in the 5 years back. So within this 2 or 3 years, we got such a kind of infrastructure improvement. So with this technological digital education field, this is what the experts say. The traditional classroom training has been moved on to mobile-based learning. This is what we are thinking, and we can. The experts are saying 21st century learning environments increasingly incorporate digital elements into varied instructional contexts. Are they really help? So the answer is no. So whatever we are employing, the only the digital elements into our pedagogical practices are not that much of helpful what we have expected, and that is why I can say the digital replacement of conventional pedagogical practices will not be helpful for our uh, aim. So then, what is the outcome of digital learning? So as far as my concern, the only outcome of benefit of digital learning is just the concept has been eliminated or reduced the weight of the burden of books and other materials that are carried by the students every day. So this is the only thing what we have achieved so far by if we just replace the entire conventional pedagogical practices into a digital one. If we replace the entire teaching learning practices into a digital one means this is only we can achieve. And I think I'm audible, right? Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, sir. Hello.
I'm audible.
Yes, sir. You're
I'm
audible,
audible.
sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. Okay. And as far as our digital world is concerned, it is a pouring of data. You also know that in every minute we are posting so much of matters in the digital form. And I can say this is a kind of old thing. Around 4.5 million videos are viewed in YouTube, and more than 9 lakhs of logins in Facebook, and more than 3.5 or 4 million search queries in Google, and so much of data are poured in the digital environment. And this is the very important, as far as my concern, this is a very important issue of or misfire of digital learning, digitally distracted learners. So this is the kind of case we have come across every day, trying to make use of their digital devices without knowing the teachers. They are distracted with this kind of thing. And there is a survey that survey tells around 54% of students have told that I waste a lot of time being distracted by other things on my laptop when I should be working. So in my laptop or in our laptop, we are having so much of ebooks. So maybe a very rare ebooks are having. How? This is a very big question. So we are not at all doing, and we are having so much. We have downloaded so much of web content. So how frequently we are using that content for our reference. This is a very important thing. And in the earlier years, we used to go to the library and take the book and do our reference and so on. We have to prepare our material. But nowadays, we are able to download any kind of book or any kind of material, and we are just keeping those material in our digital devices. Very rarely only we are using that digital content. So this is the kind of distraction I am referring. And around 67 percentage of students have told that other students around them are often distracted or off task with their laptops. So they peer influence. It's a very important thing. Even though a particular student is interested to learn something, the another set of students maybe a kind of distracting the particular student. This is another kind of digital distraction, and we cannot authenticate which one is fact and which one is fake. So, as COVID-19 issues, WHO told that affected by what the misunderstanding and misconception and fake news. And there is a survey which tells that around 66 percentage of fake news are impactful, and only 34 percentage of persons felt that fake news doesn't have kind of impact on them. So it is another thing. And plagiarism, we are facing so much of issues with plagiarism. The plagiarism issues are only for the past 5 years or something here, because now only we are having so much of research papers due to our psychological thing. We are just due to our laziness, we are just thing. So this is a kind of this leads to plagiarism. So this is another important digital misguidance, misfire of digital. We cannot understand which one is, we cannot differentiate which one is fake and which one is a fact. And you just think of the place of students. Their situation is very pathetic. They are misguided very easily due to this fake information. So we have to concentrate on this also. And the concern of parents also, around 60 percentage of parents indicate that their child's use of technology has a negative impact on physical activity. And before this pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, we used to take back our mobile phones from our children. Now we don't have any other option. We have to give our digital devices, either laptop or tablet or mobile phone, to our children for their learning. So this may be kind of another issue. What we have practiced so far, we have to slightly change our mindset and practices to give our devices to our students. And around 30 percentage of parents suggested that the use of digital devices increases their child's anxiety, and 37 percentage suggest that there's a negative impact on emotional health. This is very important thing, and we cannot. That's why I'm telling we cannot just replace entire matters with digital devices. So we have to take care of other parameters of our students' community. And this is a very important misfire of digital learning. And whatever we say, you just see the picture. Do you think this is the format of of obedience, not at all. Just they are hearing the matter through ears and they are typing the matters through hand. It's never enter into the brain or their memory. So this is what thing. And this is another case, no? We are come acrossing every day by one student, and few things are noted by another student, and some there is some change. So this is what I am telling. These distractions are only means of the use of digital devices for entire operations. So this is what I'm just referring. So this student, the particular student is playing with some thing. So we cannot notice this thing with the case. So this is very, very important and very notable issue of the use of digital learning. So you may think I'm just listing only the negative matters of digital learning. There are positive matters. So I'm going to tell hereafter. I'm going to tell the matter. So we can employ or how we can solve this problem. And this is inevitable in current era. So students are tells that students on smartphones in the classroom. Only 23% of students have told that they are distracted from e-learning. And when we ask the same question to the instructors, they are telling 46%. So this is again all the survey are depends upon whom you are asking. So we cannot understand from the facts and figures that this one is wrong, this one is right. So again, it is a duty of our, that is the teacher community, that is ours, to understand and analyze and use of the matter in our particular pedagogical practices. And there is another important challenge with regard to digital learning is the infrastructure. There is a long way to go for digital education to gain momentum in India, because as you know very well, now also there is a kind of distraction due to the internet penetration, and I think more than 450 have registered or online, and due to their internet connectivities, due to their device availabilities, and due to their other personal works or official works, there is a problem. So digital, even though we are telling that we are the third largest digital connected country, there is a huge gap. Okay, so low user literacy, no infrastructure, affordability, and still 1 billion are offline. Mostly that is largest digital divide only is in our country. So we have to invest a lot for the future momentum. So this infrastructure is again a very big issue in implementing the digital technology. And there is no uniformity in both curriculum as well as training scheme. The curriculum is fragmented, as it is taught in many forms, methodologies not available on any single platform. Methodology also fragmented. So how can we involve that is the same concept called digital intervention in college, university to university, and state to state, and even country to country. We cannot use a common methodology for all the things. In countries like USA, you can implement the digital learning or you can just replace the conventional learning with digital learning. So with kind of prior practices, we cannot implement entirely. So this is the case. And most of the teachers of higher education are interested to adopt the recent technologies into their thing. So now it is time to use. So this is the case but frankly saying, most of the teachers are something they are telling that might be quite interesting. So they are very blessed. There are some kind of issues with our teaching community, and ill-equipped with use of digital tools get rated poorly by the students. So unless otherwise we are familiar with use of digital devices and digital technologies, our output, that is presentation, may not be may not attract the students. So that the students may think that this will not be helpful for them. So as our teacher community, we have to very strong enough with the use of digital tools. So in order to attract the students, and the digital learning and analysis, that is, there are lot of advantages in digital learning, and flexible scheduling and faster completion, and study anytime anywhere, access to more courses, colleges, and I can learn a course which is offered by MIT USA and IIT New Delhi, IIT Madras, through this digital learning. So this is the kind of advantage. I need not to commute. I am just sitting in Karaikudi and delivering the lecture organized by college in Kumbakonam. So in the earlier case, I have to travel to Kumbakonam to deliver my presentation. So I need not to commute here, and potentially lower cost. And it is very understandable and thing. And cons, as you know very well, there is no face-to-face interaction. I'm just telling whatever I'm prefer, or whatever my view. I didn't know how you are how you are taking that matter, and what is your that is expression, what is your reaction. These and all I cannot get, so whereas with the classroom structure, I can get the reactions or outcome of my teaching in that moment itself. So I can get my reactions from from the face of my listeners. With this kind of technology, it is very far away, and not all major available, and increased personal responsibility. So I have to responsible all my matters. So my internet thing, I have to be the responsible. Networking challenges is a very important factor which affects the digital learning as of today. So networking issue. So I have to use the internet, which is used for some mobile devices and so on, and requires so much of self direction. So the problem here is with infrastructure and some personal issues. So unless if we eliminate those matters, then digital learning is going to be a helpful one. And devices in the classroom. So hereafter we cannot make a ban. So we have to make a plan to make use of the digital devices into our classroom environment. So for that, again, we cannot just replace our digital devices in our earlier conventional practices. So hereafter we cannot ban, and we have to make a plan for our classroom with the use of digital devices. And this is what we have today. And conventional face-to-face pedagogy, e-learning, other recent technologies. If you taste or if you provide the students in a isolated or they would be tasting some kind of taste. So if you are using conventional face-to-face pedagogy means they would taste only this. E-learning means they would taste only that essence. And if you are using some other recent technologies, means they would taste this kind of thing. This is what we are having today. Either we are using conventional method, or we are using e-learning, or we are using some other recent technologies. So this is what we are having. I am telling that this is the problem with us. So we are having so much of that is matter, and we are giving only one matter to the students. This is what.
Hello. Sorry for the break. Effective pedagogy involves a range of techniques, including whole class and structured group work, guided learning and individual activity. Effective pedagogies focus on developing higher order thinking and make good use of dialogue questions in order to do many things. Education is the process of facilitation, learning or acquisitions of knowledge, skills, values, beliefs, and habits. While pedagogy most commonly understood as the approach to teaching refers more broadly to theory of practice of education and how this influences the growth of learners. Synonyms of the pedagogy: didactics, teaching method, teaching, pedagogics, educational activity, education, instructions, teaching. Pedagogy is a child-focused teaching approach, whereas an adult-focused teaching approach, or formally pedagogy, is the art and the science of helping kids learn, whereas is the art and the science of helping adults learning. There are 7 learnings of pedagogies. Visual, you prefer using pictures, images, and understanding oral, you prefer using sound and music, verbal linguistics, you prefer using words, understanding both in speech and writing, physically, kinesthetic. You prefer using your body, hands, and the sense of touch. Thank you.
Hello.
Sir?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello. Am I audible?
And
Okay.
now also breaking.
Okay. Okay. Hello. 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 I think you have to make me as host. I cannot share my screen.
Yeah, it's visible.
Is it visible?
Yes. Now it's not
Okay.
visible, but before.
Can you see this screen? PowerPoint
No,
presentation?
no, couldn't.
Yeah, that's why I cannot share my screen. Yeah, now okay. Now, is it okay?
It's visible. You can proceed.
Hello.
Yes, sir, it's clear. You can proceed, sir.
Hello, is it okay?
Yes, sir, it's okay. It's clear. It's
Madam?
visible. Everything is audible.
Yeah. Very sorry if I apologize due to my issues. Okay. I think this is what real-time example what I am telling so far. So having such a kind of issues, we have to adopt and apply our issues. So that's why the problems are multifaceted. So we cannot say a single solution doesn't maybe applicable for other things as well. The students are different. So single teaching method doesn't work out hereafter. So we cannot say the conventional teaching pedagogy is helpful and the entire digital learning is would be helpful. We cannot say because students are different. So we have to apply and adopt so much of things. So that's why the remedy for these problems is just blend. What we have is we are having so much of several technologies, that is the conventional and e-learning and other technologies. The task before us is just blend the matter and provide a very tasty teaching learning matters to the students. This is what we have to do at present. We have to just blend our pedagogical practices and methods to provide the students, so that the students will be very interesting to get back our students, and our goal of getting learning outcomes will be very easily achieved. So this is the only remedy as far as our problem is. We have to blend the teaching practices, and we have to give a good blended learning environment to our students. And blended learning is a personalized learning approach that combines online and face-to-face instruction to differentiate the content, pace, and difficulty of instruction for each student. So, the student centric is going to be a very important matter hereafter. So, we have to blend the entire, or we have to blend several teaching practices and to provide them a learning environment. So we are going to adopt. We are not going to eliminate face to face. We have to include face to face learning and online learning to provide a blended learning. Blended learning means it is not a e-learning. It is a combination of several teaching and learning methodologies. So this is what we call it as blended learning. And just have a look of this video. Can you hear the video voice?
No, sir, it's not audible. Video voice is not audible.
No.
No, it's not audible.
Now, what about now?
Hello, sir.
Madam, can you hear the voice in the video?
No, sir.
No. Okay.
Yeah, hearing.
Then we just leave this video. So this is a video for the explanation of blended learning. This is web-based learning and a combination of our conventional. So this is a kind of typical blended learning classroom structure. So our classroom structure need to be restructured to incorporate all the teaching learning practices. That is personalized teaching and group teaching and kind of things and a kind of demonstration and a kind of workplace area. So we have to restructure our classroom structure to incorporate this blended learning. Means blended learning means in the same area some instructional teaching learning and group learning and some kind of workshop based thing and some kind of computer based learning. So we are going to blend the several teaching learning practices to provide a comprehensive learning and environment to the students. This is what we call it as blended learning. So and who can provide this blended learning? Our institution, our funding schemes, or some other anyone, and you and me and our students. We have to make this blended learning environment. No one can provide, because as I told a little earlier, the one solution cannot be applied to all the situations. So we have to analyze and adopt and understand, and we have to find a suitable teaching learning methodology for a particular classroom or a particular student. This is what blended learning suggests. So blended learning suggests doesn't suggest a comprehensive or a framework. of teaching learning practices. You and me and our students have to sit, understand and analyze and find a solution for our problem. So, and what we have to do, we have to get a right mix of blend. So how much conventional teaching is required? How much internet-based teaching is required? How much practical-based teaching or a particular art or a particular course or a particular program? So this is what the task before our that is a teaching community. We have to find which kind of blending is required for our course, which kind of blending is required for our college, which kind of blending is required for a particular class, which kind of blending for a particular required for a particular subject. So we are going to pinpoint a particular situation, and we have to understand and analyze the required pedagogy. And we have to consider the first and foremost priority, or the one and only priority, is student based outcome. So we have to define, and we have to our pedagogical practices should be very clear to get the student based outcomes. So only for this we are working hard to bring comprehensive learning environment to the students. And we have to create a community of learning within that particular classroom. So this is again a very important task to implement blended learning into our teaching learning practices. And we have to what we have to do is we have to conceive a concept and frame our own methodology. The time investment for creating the learning content is very essential in this blended learning environment. We have to spend a huge amount of time and all our resources to understand our requirement and to frame the solution for our issues. And setting expectations about our subject on students is very important, because they should be very curious, because nowadays most of the students are incurious. So we have to take them to the track of learning. So we have to we should their expectations should be very high with our for our deliberations and delivering the concept in an interesting manner. This is the only reason we are going to blend so much of teaching learning practices. The ultimate goal is to get their student interest first, and out of that interest we have to make the students to learn, and out of that learning environment, and we have to achieve the learning outcome of a particular course. And ultimately we have to admire the students. And there are so much of myths related to blended learning. IDLT means instructor-led training plus e-learning is a blended learning. Not at all. Blended learning is it's a combination of several teaching learning methodologies: workshop-based, practical-based, case study-based, project-based, and some seminars by students based, and instructor based, and we are involving some other guest faculty, so that kind of case, and we are having ICT tools and the things. And whatever I say, we are following, but the blended learning suggests bring all the matters to the particular classroom in a particular situation. So that we are using, we are inviting guest faculty for lecturing in one occasion, and we are inviting, we are sending the students to the lab for a particular period. Now the thing is, we have to frame a learning environment that all the matters are blended in a particular classroom. This is what blended learning suggests. And is it cost more than classroom training? It's not at all. So very little, we are having a good structure of infrastructure. So we have to convert, or we have to make use of all the resources in a particular classroom environment. So that's what we have to do. Is it just a stepping stone from ILT to e-learning? It's not at all. Because we are not going to eliminate the ILT, that is instructor-led training. We are going to have conventional face-to-face training. We are going to have advanced technological improvements. So we are going to blend all the things. Will blended learning lead to superfluous of instructors or facilitators? No, not at all. So again, we are going to students to make use of the other learning environment in order to improve their professional expertise. And ILT is the only facet of offline learning. Not at all. There are several varied options in offline learning. We are going to use offline learning as well as online learning to provide the blended learning. And teachers and learners need to be very tech savvy for blended learning. It's again a myth because just to understand how to use the particular device or tool, it's enough for a learner to make use of the thing. Whereas with the teachers, we have to make ourselves to be more familiar with the help of by using that devices and techniques. So this is a myth, and we are outing. And why are we doing all this? This is a very important question, because whatever we are doing, why? And the current situation is, and this is a very important and pathetic situation I am referring. And just have a look of a very old paper, around 1,000 PhDs among 19 lakhs of applicants for jobs of VAO, typists, and I'm not going to degrade these jobs, but just see these PhDs. Number of PhDs applying for these jobs. They are trained to become teachers or researchers, but they are trying to become a kind of clerical work. So I am just referring this situation as underemployment, not unemployment. So here you just see the number of graduates per year, and they are unemployable. So mostly 75% of matters are problems. Over 23 lakhs in race for 368 peons post in UP. This is a very important, very pathetic situation what we are facing today. So this underemployment. And they are telling that graduates are collecting their degrees despite not being skilled enough to be a productive part of Indian economy. So we have whatever we are producing in our classroom, that is students, they are the pillars of future India. So we have to, they should be very strong enough to strengthen their own economy as well as our country's economy. This is a very Herculean task before us. So we have to concentrate on that thing. That's why we are working hard to bring a comprehensive learning environment to the students. And what is the remedy? The skills of the students are the keys for their success. And what we have to do is, we have to create the interest among them, and we have to make the students are very technically sound, and we have to concentrate on their communicative skills, and we have to concentrate on their fine thinking skills. All the four matters are focused only on the outcome of the students. So unless otherwise they are interested, they are technically sound, their communicative skills, not only communication skills, their communicative skills are good enough and strengthened, and along with fine thinking skills, they cannot survive in this competitive environment or world. So it is a very important task before us to make the students are very interested and skilled. That's why we have to employ whatever the particular situation requires, that is teaching learning practice, we can we have to employ. Whether the particular environment requires more amount of digital learning means we have to employ. If a particular situation requires conventional teaching means we have to employ. So we should not stick on a particular teaching learning environment for a particular situation. That's why I'm telling conventional method alone will not help. And digital entire replacement of digital learning with conventional learning is not at all helpful. So we have to blend a lot of teaching learning methodologies, and we have to concentrate on grooming the skills of the students, and we have to kindly ask the students or make the students to learn a lot from MOOC courses, that is Swayam platform, NPTEL platform. So we cannot we didn't have the possibility of learning in IITs. Now it is possible because an course offered by an IIT professor can be learned from Karakudi through Swayam. And this is thanks to Swayam. So good things of MOOCs is easy of access, better communication, accessibility, less fee structure, and effortless evaluation. So we have to teach our students good use of social media applications for the betterment of their professional expertise. And at present, who is the enabler for search of new pedagogy? Is institutions, teachers, parents, students, technology? My answer is this one. And unless otherwise this hit, we never think of this kind of webinars. We never think of this kind of FDPs through online. So we don't have such kind of matters. So the circumstances and the requirements alone lead our progress. This is what I'm trying to convey from this presentation. So our situation requires the change of our attitudes and teaching learning pedagogies. So we have to adopt and accept this one. So this COVID-19 pandemic changes, the students are sitting in their bed and sofa in their own environment. They are tend to learn, and the staffs are used to develop the e-learning materials without filled the students in the classroom. So this is the situation. So this is a very important thing with our Indian scenario is we are very easily adopted. We are interested to adopt this situation, and particularly in Tamil Nadu, we are organizing several such a kind of webinars. So these are all tells we are capable to adopt a particular newer technology within a short period of time. We without making more effort, we are able to adopt with the technology. So this is what we have to do. So we have to bring our technological developments to the things, and the use of Google Classrooms in our day-to-day teaching environment, teaching learning practices should be a continuous effort in the days to come, and use of some other media. No, so in the evening time we can develop some content, and we can post in Google Classroom to make our students are more engaged beyond their classroom timings. So this is our situation, and we are coping that situation. So we have to develop a lot to provide a comprehensive learning environment to the students. This is what we have to do. And the thing is, the finally, I'm trying to conclude with this one. And we have to analyze our pedagogy, and we have to perform a SWOT analysis with our students and group them, and we have to find a better blend of pedagogies for that particular group. So hereafter, common framework need not to be helpful for the whole matter. So we have to separate our students, and we have to identify the which kind of technology can be used for a particular student or a particular group of students or a particular class or a particular paper, and we have to adopt, and we have to believe in ourselves, and we have to work hard to implement. There will be a lot of hurdles to implement any new concept, and we have to work hard, and we should have a perseverant mind, and we should not go out of a particular new concept because of some other hurdle, and we have to be a professional in our teaching to incorporate newer concepts, and the ultimate thing is we have to acquire art of effective teaching with the help of recent advancements. So with this, I conclude. I take this opportunity to thank the organizers and the particularly IQAC team and the authorities of Idhaya College for Women Kumbakonam for having given me this wonderful opportunity, and thank you. Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. It's audible, clear.
Yes, yes, madam.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yes, you are audible. You are audible.
Thank you, sir, for your mind.
Anything? Okay, thank you, madam.
Hello. Hello, sir. Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you for your mind-blowing and eminent speech on blended learning, pedagogy for future.
Hello. Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Thank you. Yes.
It was
Thank you.
very
Thank you.
useful for us teachers to handle the students
Thank
of
you.
future generation. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, listeners, for having uh, thing, and thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Participants, you can post your questions through chat box. Participants, you can post your questions through chat box. Is there any questions? Hello, participant.
Hello.
Is there any questions? Any queries?
I think one has asked the SWOT, SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. SWOT analysis means strength. We have to identify the strengths of us, and weakness. What is the weakness? And what is the opportunity, and what is the threat to incorporate? And I think another one has asked which I think what teaching pedagogy should be used for kids. The entire my presentation tells that we have to identify a particular teaching pedagogy for a particular student. We cannot say this is the comprehensive and complete teaching learning practices for a entire student community. So we have to student centric one. We have to move a real student centric one. This is what my suggestion for this question. Mm, do you another one has asked that do you think that online classes or webinar will affect the students technically? Technically, I don't think so because the nowadays students are interested to make use of their mobile phones at least for viewing some lectures through webinars instead of they are using their mobile phones for only for chatting and playing games and other things. Now it is now the students are interested thing, and Dr. Nagaraj, I think so. How it help in higher education? Surely it will help in higher education, and without moving one place to another place, we can have a group of research forum, and we can share our rich full of thoughts among the particular forum, and we can create some Google Classroom for our particular subject or a particular semester, so that we can share our lectures, and we can share our videos, and we can share some kind of textbook in that thing, and we can very easily evaluate the assignments. We can post assignments in Google Classroom, and we can easily evaluate. We can take quizzes. No, how many of you have had used the Google Forms in the earlier days? Nowadays, we are used to fill at least 10 Google Forms in a day by means of webinars, by means of registering the things, and we are familiar with Google Forms, you know. So thanks to COVID-19, we have to thank a lot to the COVID-19. Maybe thing because unless otherwise this situation rise, we may not tend to use this Google Forms, Google Classroom, and webinar and so on. Okay, and I think.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. How to increase the listening skills? So the only thing is we have to make the students are more interested. This is the only thing. I think it's enough. Is it okay, ma'am?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
An honorable man restores the dignity of others. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. I invite our principal, Reverend Sister Dr. U. Amala, to give the valedictory address.
Good afternoon to everybody. Count your blessings. Once you realize how valuable you are, count your blessings and name them. The sun will break out, the music will play, and you will finally be able to move forward the life the God intended for you with grace, strength, courage, and confidence. Count your blessings, which is innumerable. Count your blessings, which God showered on you unconditionally. Count it. It is a matter of great pride and satisfaction to Idhaya College for Women Kumbakonam in organizing this 5 days FDP based on the theme Techniques in Enhancing Teaching and Learning Skills. Life is a journey. The path we take, what we look back on, and what we look forward to is up to us. We determine our destination. For us, this journey of excellence is perennial. It has indeed been a long and enriching journey. Education is a lifelong learning process. Learning happens all the time, not only in the designated place called the college. It happens in the home, between home and college too. The homes and college mission, therefore, is to provide a learning environment and opportunities to the children, that is youngsters, as the learners. Make a positive difference in the society. We could speak for us about how to achieve success in life, but until and unless we take initiative to put ourselves on the roadmap to success, nothing tangible will happen. Upskilling is not an option, but a necessity. You need to keep applying and upskilling yourself. Upgrade and upskill. I appreciate the participants for your continuous and constant cooperation in participating in the webinar and making this FDP a resounding success. I am glad to register that each day around 1,000 participants were benefited by FDP via Zoom and YouTube. And to prove life learning and lifelong learning is much important. I am sure this webinar will be a milestone in ensuring the highest standard in this profession. I wish the organizers the very best in this and all the other endeavors. My special greetings to IQAC coordinator, Dr. Premila Rossi, Assistant Professor and Head Department of Computer Science, HODs and organizing team for their full cooperation and working hard for the success of this webinar. Count your blessings, not your troubles. Be grateful and count your blessings daily. Be a blessing to everyone. Blessed day, blessed month, and years ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Gratitude is the inward feeling of kindness received. Thankfulness is the natural impulse to express that feelings. I invite Ms. Durga, Assistant Professor of Tamil Department, to deliver vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for He is good. Yes, first I would like to thank the Almighty for His abundance of blessings for the tremendous success manner of the 5 days faculty development program. Saying thank you is more than good manners. It is good spirituality. I extend a very heartfelt gratitude to our today's resource person, Dr. C. Balakrishnan, who spared his time and found to grace the occasion. Thank you, sir, for your valuable thoughts, for teachers to handle the future generation students. It was such a captivating session. Next, I would like to express our profound gratitude to our beloved principal, Reverend Sister Dr. Eugene Amala, for her tremendous support and providing encouragement at every point of time in the organizing of this great event. I also wish to express my gratitude to Secretary, Vice Principal, Administrator, and all the sisters of the congregation for their valuable contribution. Then, my heartfelt thanks to Dr. C. Pramila Rossi, IQAC Coordinator and Head of the Department of CS for her guidance and made the best arrangements for this FDP. I would like to thank the organizing and technical team and all the faculties for making this event successful. Finally, I am grateful to all the participation for your active participations or cordial cooperation. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your excellent vote of thanks from Tamil Department. Water for shepherds, words of encouragement for thirsty people. Now, from all directions, so many have come under the shelter of Idhaya. Idhaya provides, contributes, motivates, inspires, encourages through varieties of webinars, FDP, conducting quiz, workshop from various departments. Utilize this opportunity and make use of this quarantine. Dear participants, we successfully finished our 5 days FDP on teaching in enhancing a technique in enhancing teaching and learning skills. Because of your continuous kind cooperations and patience. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.